they'll feel like they've got a chance, I think. They'll feel like the last time they came out to play Mamelodi Sundowns, yes, it was a 2-0 win, but it wasn't as straightforward as we tried to make it out to be. So it's good that we'll see whether Kuchimpi is going to be able to come in. Last time, him and Urulani. So let's see what they're going to do this time. And then on the other end, you're expecting Banyana to win, guys. You're expecting Banyana to go forth. And the funny thing about them winning is going to be that we're setting up another meeting between us and our great rival, Nigeria, whom we faced in AFCON. Very, very interesting times. So we're going to be setting up that type of game. Nigeria, of course, is going to be playing Cameroon in the same fixture on their end. And then whoever wins that game goes through to a final, but will have qualified for the Olympics. The Olympics, of course, are later on this year. And we're expecting, our women's team, Banyana, to do much better than anybody else. Tembinkosi, how are you doing? Kumo, sorry, man. Hey, wena, load shedding you could swear, man. Apologies again, guys, for being late. It's just technical issues that are the issue. So, apologies for that one. Still just making sure that I'm fine. Okay, so let's see what Sundowns does. The Sundowns starting lineup is as follows. Williams in goal. You've got Umtunyelwa. You've got Lunga keeping his place in the team. You have Kekana, Zungwen Mokwena. Then you have Mabue Mudiba. Umatinas, Esquivel, number 9. And then 23, Ribeiro. And also Usirino. The guys that find themselves on the bench are Shalulile, Zwane, and Loch. Possibly just being... the players were playing, just being rewarded for how they've played over the past few days. So we're going to see how that pans out on that side in terms of Amazulu. Mzimela in goal, Yosta, Hanemo, Phyllis, and Kumete. Then you've got Mpahlele, Mtswari, Brooks, Kwem, Mbanjwa, and Muremi as the starting lineup for Amazulu. In the last 5 games, Amazulu has 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. And then on the other end, Mamelodi Sundowns has 2 wins and 3 draws. 3 draws, the 3 draws being Cape Town City, drawing with them. Then they played Polokwane City to a draw. And of course, most recently, Orlando Pirates, who they played to a 1-1 draw. It seems that Rulani is rotating. It seems like Rulani is deciding that my players need to be ready. Here comes Banyana on the attack, 1 back. It seems like he's going back on his word and he's giving people some time. Maybe, just maybe, that match versus Pirates showed just how rusty some players are and how some players are missing some game time. So it is a good thing for him, especially in the league, to go, "Hi guys, Ngenani, the guys who haven't been playing, have some fun and get up to speed, so that when you are up to speed, we can then start playing all the time," especially seeing as he's going into the CAF Champions League quarterfinals. Mamelodi Sundowns, of course, is qualified for the quarterfinals. They're one of 6 teams to go through already. We're waiting for 2 teams to join them. Then they're going to be into the knockouts. That's where real football starts. That's where the questions are asked. And that's where Rulani will be looking to make an impact this year, possibly winning the competition. It's been a very long time since Mamelodi Sundowns has won the competition. So they've been in and around the semi-finals, in and around the business end of the competition. So let's see if they're able to get it done this time around. 8 minutes in, it's 0-0 in both matches. Let's see what you guys are saying here. I'm good. Tembinkosi. Kwena says they also want to qualify for the Club World Cup. Exactly. There's also the Club World Cup. But I believe that Club World Cup Does Sundowns might sneak in. Might sneak in as the semi-finalists because they take the last 4 years winners. And because I believe Al Ahly's won it twice, Sundowns might be able to get in by virtue of that semi-finals they had versus Wydad. So I think they are going to qualify by default. But let's see. We still have to hear a lot more about that competition and how it's going to go. But how are you guys? 9 minutes in. Let me just make sure that on the other side we're also good. We are watching Banyana versus Tanzania. They're on the way to the Olympics. And they put this Tanzanian team to the sword in the first leg, 3-0 in Dar es Salaam. Now they're playing in Bombela Stadium. Let's see if they can't score. Goal must scramble in the Banyana game, and the Tanzania keeper is able to come away with it. We'll just keep changing between the two matches as we go along. Okay. 10 minutes in, 0-0 on both ends. Sundowns has looked like the more aggressive team in their game. It's looked like they're going to try and score very early. Amazulu hasn't been in this game. Similarly, Banyana on the other end have been the more aggressive team in that game, and they will be looking to make that 3-0 advantage that they have, take it to Boma 6, Boma 7, just to send a message. Of course, Tanzania is ranked 146th in the world and 27th in Africa, whereas Banyana is ranked 52nd in the world and 2nd in Africa behind Nigeria. Here comes Sundowns. Ball played over. Oh, deflected just wide. Mzimela had gone for it there. And it seemed like it was going in the other direction because of that deflection. Almost snuck in. Okay, so let's see. Corner, Mamelodi Sundowns played in deep, goes straight through. Sundowns not necessarily known for their aerial prowess. Aerial prowess. So we'll see how that plays out. I just want to make sure that everything is right over here, guys. I had some very, very bad technical issues at the beginning of this. So excuse me if I just look away every now and then. Feel free to comment and we can have that discussion about what we're seeing in this game. Hey, abokuma bashawa kidi load shedding mona. How do you guys feel about Umatinas? Oh, my boy, already is his jersey torn? What's going on there? Yes, Sundowns fans, do you guys feel happy with your new signing that he's getting the game time? Are you watching both games? Yes, Tumani, both games are on at the same time right here. That's what I'm watching right now. Malome Kutso says, Muremi. He tried. It's so interesting to watch how we take older players and move them into different positions. I'm seeing Mpatlele. A lot of people in that defense. Amazulu. And this is the tough part. Last time Amazulu played Sundowns, it's only after they started fighting Ukuchimpi and Urulani, and it got a bit heated, and Amazulu decided to come out in the second half and do a little bit something different, that they actually showed that they could actually beat. Oh, there we go. Oh, nobody in the box. Muremi hitting a ball across the face of goal there, and nobody was there to finish it from the side of Amazulu. So it's like, I think Amazulu might jump up and play hard, or actually, I would expect that after that first game, Amazulu would realize that Sundowns is human, right? They played so well in the second half of the last game, had a lot of chances which they didn't take, and it was interesting to watch them come out and maybe feel like they could have gotten something out of the game, but they started so late. I think teams struggle with the Sundowns because by Saba, right? And then by the time they realize that, man, guys, we can actually attack them, it's done. It's already done. The only issue that's going on with teams that play Sundowns is that they get too excited. If you think about it, Supersport came out versus the Sundowns attacking. They came out pushing. They put Sundowns under pressure for a bit, but they got a little bit too excited. And that's where Sundowns' experience, Sundowns' patience came in, and they were able to beat them in that game. So I guess what I'm looking for is they were robbed. Chuck says they were robbed through the bogus offside. Hey, we all have stories about refereeing issues this year. Oh, just wide. From Mamelodi Sundowns, Usirino. Usirino, you finally found your way back into the team. Now, excuse me, now you're missing chances. So, what you find, you have to find a happy medium. You have to find a medium where teams are pushing hard and playing hard and actually going at Sundowns, but then don't get too excited and commit too many people forward because you think you've got a chance now, or do things like that because that's when they punish you. Mamelodi Sundowns is playing a very African game these days. Very, very African game. It's open. It looks like you can score, but they get their goals and they move on. Whether it's the one goal and moving on, whether it's the two goals and they're moving on, they get their goals and they're like, "Hey guys, that's fine. We've done our business. We're gonna now defend or sit back or see what we're gonna get from this match." So it looks a lot like Bruce's setup as well. So very, very interesting. I'm just hoping that there'll be a team that will attack them and go for them and see if they can't get something. Sometimes, man, hey, you just gotta go for it. This is not the Sundowns that beats people 6-0, 6-1, 5-0 anymore. It's not that they're weaker. Don't get me wrong, guys. Not that they're weaker, but Sundowns is not a team that's gonna score 6 goals unless it's Nedbank Cup against La Masia. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see that. Banyana, of course, played in the World Cup last year. Oh, here comes the ball. It's Jermaine Sioposinwe's 100th game for Banyana. So she's getting her chance to get something on her anniversary game. Jermaine plays in Mexico. Actually was, I believe, the first Banyana player to go over to Mexico. And now Breadwinner has followed her. Tembi Kgatlana became the most expensive transfer out of the NWSL when she moved also to Mexico. So a lot of them are that side now, and I guess they all get to take the same plane when they're coming in. Let's see. Amazulu defending deep there. Malume Kutso says Muremi must be signed and loaned back to Amazulu fast. Signed by who, Malume Kutso? Signed by who? I wonder if Mpatlele regrets leaving Downs for Chiefs. If I remember correctly, Mpatlele wasn't playing. Oh, Phillies with a yellow card in the 17th minute is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the rest of the match. He's going to have to be a little bit more disciplined to Phillies. Let's see. Yeah, no. Oh, you also dragged him down. Evan. Pirates, of course. He was your captain, but wasn't Robin Johannes also your captain at some point? If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. But he wasn't playing, man. He wasn't playing at the end. Before he left you guys. So guys, that just the ticker is going to be going back and forth. So don't worry about it. You will still get to see your teams. We just have to show some love to Banyana. The national team, the one that has been showing other national football teams how to play. So I'm watching both matches, gonna go back and forth. I'll keep you guys updated on both games as we go along. As we go along. Second in Africa, guys. I think they don't get the type of support and love that they deserve. Banyana Banyana. Current AFCON champions. So you guys are happy about ball played in behind. If you guys are happy about Bafana Bafana finishing third, here's the team that actually won it and went to the World Cup knockouts. Oh, Tanzania on the attack. I really think we still miss Urifilojane, man. We miss Urifilojane. That midfield has not been the same ever since she came off Zimela. That midfield has not been the same. And deploying Linda there, I guess because she's an experienced player, it's good, it works. But then we lose out on number 10, Linda number 10. That's what we miss out on. And it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in this game because breadwinner Ageko in this game. And breadwinner is the one that makes the team tick, especially up front. I think Utembi, man, she runs too much. And when she runs too much, she needs a partner who does the other work. So a partner is going to slow down the game and give her the passes. And I've said before that breadwinner, Hilda Machaya, is the most composed person in the box. Currently in South Africa, he's the most composed striker or forward that we have in South African football. And mind you, I say composed. Nobody makes a better decision than Hilda. Clara says, sure, her absence is felt. It is felt. It is felt. I think it's one of those things, because even now, remember in the first game, I was like, I'm not too sure about the mid because Biana's there. And Biana, she's a little bit too forceful there in the middle. She's a little bit too forceful in the middle. And it's always like a yellow card waiting to happen and a possible red card waiting to happen. So let's see what the midfield is going to look like today because Mutalo and Mutao are playing together. Mutao, it's her birthday, if I'm not mistaken. She's 27. At least they showed the other side of the stadium in the Chiefs match. Sorry, I'm also going to the other game. At least they showed the other side of the stadium, Kumo. In the Chiefs game. Because it doesn't look like that camera angle that Yako Loftus just does you guys badly. So at least you knew a Chiefs thing that FNB was one-sided. One portion, let me say, not even side. Okay, Banyana's taking it easy, man. They've had a few attacks, but it's a 3-0 aggregate. I mean, Tanzania has to do all the job here. Let's look at Mtunyelwa and see from a Sundowns throw-in. Amazulu is sitting so far back. Amazulu is sitting too far back. I understand that you're respecting the unbeaten team in the league, but you can't sit that far back and expect for something to happen. And is then Zungu playing the Kutsia role? My Sundowns guys told me that Ukutsia is playing, Uzungu was playing that role versus, was it Lamasi and also Nwadibu? So is he good in that role? Because you'd think that a midfield that has both Zungu and Mukwena, hey, it would be a tough build-up there. Oh, Linda. Linda's one of my favorite players. Birthday girl taking a shot and just going wide after Linda hit a young vase there. Khantijani, yes, she's still injured. She's still injured. But for Authority, Tembi is the one. I hear you, Malume Kutso. The thing is, Tembi is one of those people where you need a cooler head next to her because she will do everything and then stumble on the last step. Whereas when she plays with Hilda, I think it takes a little bit more of the responsibility off of the shoulders. Oh, listen, she was down earlier in the game. It looks like she's going to be taken out. Sad to see. Looks like she's going to be taken out. So you need like that partner, you know? And Hilda's that person. Hilda's that player, man. Kumo says that's because the camera crews are always the camera crew are disgruntled Chiefs fans. I don't know. I think maybe FNP, the camera angle is higher. I don't know. Maybe that's why. She's back at her club. Yes, she's back at her club. Maybe they're just giving her the time off, guys. Maybe they're just allowing her to get back into the game because she was out for a bit. Maybe they're just like, catch yourself. Amazulu on the attack. One of the few times that they've been able to make it up. Yeah, the sun is coming off. Oh, Ramalepe. Now, OT, you're magnifying Tembi's few errors. No. Malumekus, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're glaring, that every day. But if you look at the person who, when Banyana's back is against the wall, it's Hilda who scores those goals. I think Tembi is incredible, but the problem is that Tembi, you know how we always say, oh, that was a corner from Amazulu, just over from Ukwem. Ukhatana is a player that does not need the amount of responsibility that we give her at Banyana. So she's one of those players like Mohamed Salah. Yes, I'll use Mohamed Salah. When he plays for Egypt, everything is here. When he plays for his club, there's people who take the load off so that he doesn't have to do that much. And Utembi, at times, when she gets the ball, and she comes out alone, that's where you see the decision making. Whereas when it's a quick play, interplay, usually between her and Hilda, there's a goal that is scored because she's a player that doesn't need time. When you give her time, something's going to happen. You get me? But yeah, she can take on opponents. That's why I'm saying that she's taking on opponents. But in terms of actually scoring, when Hilda is not there, Banyana is a bit sluggish in terms of scoring, and Tembi gets frustrated because she's left alone. I see now that to try fight that, what Desiree has done is moved Uchemain, Usioposinwe, moved Uchemain into being almost a second striker. Particularly because of that. That's what I think. And it's not to say that Tembi's bad. It's that Utembi is in 1v2, 1v3 situations too much. You take on one person, you can't do the other. You can't beat the other one. That's what I'm trying to say. Tembi's like Saleng without the goals. Thank you, Kumo. It's similar to that. And if you see what Saleng was doing very well when Saleng was on fire, it was when Saleng was with who? Ulepasa. So think of it that way, that Hilda is the Lepasa, sort of. Yeah, okay, not necessarily Lepasa, but the other one. And then Khatana is the Saleng. Not to say that she's a bad player. I'm not saying she's got errors or magnifying errors. It's just the archetype of players. Tembi is the Henry wa Banyana. Nah, she's not the Henry. I would sooner call her Who would I call her? I would sooner call her the I want to say like a Ronaldo type. Later Ronaldo, who doesn't like. Yeah, I want to say like a later Ronaldo. Not an Henri. Is the defense solid or is Tanzania not terrorizing them? Wait, Clara. I want to come to that one. I'm trying to find an example. She's not the Henri because she doesn't do that. Henri at times would just take the team, put it on their shoulders, and go and score through 4 or 5 players. She's not that, but she's an incredible finisher. I can't find. Yeah, Salah. Yeah, I'll use the one I used earlier. She's Salah. She's Salah. Clara says the defense solid. I think Tanzania is not in the game. I would have expected a bit more from Tanzania, knowing that you need to score 3 goals at the very least. But they're not in the game. They're not in the game. But also, I don't want to be disrespectful to Banyana. They're a very good team. They are a good 94 places between each other in the world rankings, 25 places between each other in terms of the African rankings. So maybe it's just a case of us being too good. Anyway, Mamelodi Sundowns has resorted to playing lofted balls into the box, which is an interesting tactic, but Amazulu is sitting back. The odd thing that Amazulu does is when they do go forward, there's the disconnect between the midfield and the defense. The gaps are too big. And if you watch what, guys, when you watch what happens then is that Sundowns have more players inside the box in an attack than Amazulu have defenders. And that's interesting. Malume Kuto, define what carries is. What carries is. Because what I'm trying to say is that Tembi is a very good player, but she's not Henri in terms of its different roles that they're asked to play. Tembi doesn't score that much in terms of important goals, first goals, equalizer goals and things like that. That's Hilda. And I'm just saying that the type of play that they have is Tembi shines brightest when she has Hilda next to her, is what I'm trying to say. But when she's alone, she will go and make the runs and do the step overs and do all of that stuff. But the final nail will not be there. Now, once we've got the one goal, she comes alive. And again, that's why I'm saying that's why even now, Jermaine has been asked to play as a second striker so that Tembi can have a partner. You get me? And it's not to say Tembi's bad. Tembi's very good at what she does. But if you leave her on an island, she's not going to Henri the island. You get me? Hilda is not going to Henri the island. Hilda just makes better passing decisions when you get into the final third. I will still say Hilda is the best composed striker that we have in South African football as a whole. Nobody can find the runs, find the passes, make the shots, place the ball better than Hilda. And when those two combine, it's incredible. Yeah, that's exactly, Clara. Exactly. Marubikusa says, I'll have my say at halftime. Good, yes, but remember the defense is fairly new combo. Karabo Msongo, Hatebe, and Figile. I think we saw a lot of Tanzania in the first game, that they weren't really up to it, you know. So I don't know if they're going to be tested. The first game, Nuko was in, if I'm not mistaken. So if Desiree feels comfortable enough to start something here, or start a new defense, I think that might tell you everything you need to know. Okay, Amazulu Sundowns is still 0-0. Sundowns is still pressing, but the pressing that they're doing right now has lost its edge. In the beginning of the game, it was a lot of combinations where they were taking apart Amazulu's defense, right? But Amazulu's defense, but towards the end, Amazulu's just starting to sit very deep, and Sundowns is looking for a ball over the top in behind the defense into a space that just doesn't exist. There's a space that just doesn't exist. Amazulu's basically in a back five, waiting. So they have not come here to play football. They have not come here to play football. The best place for Sundowns, ladies, forgot to name your favorite player. She's composed. Okay, composure. Okay, Rabale. But my favorite player, Ke Tolagele. She just shoots. I like her because she's just here. Turn and shoot. Wherever you get the ball, she's a shooter. Whether the keeper's looking at me, whether the keeper's doing... I'd say maybe Rabale is the more composed one. If I'm using composure as the metric. But yeah, she knows, hey, you are. So yeah, you see, they're forcing Sundowns to, like, there's a U that teams end up playing when you play against a low block team, where the ball basically does this. It goes from this end, back here, down to here, back to this side, and they just keep doing this. But I guess Sundowns is doing well because Amazulu's defense is not talking. They've packed the box, but they're all marking each other, which is very weird for a professional team, a senior professional team. And I think because this game, it's a league game, so I think Amazulu might just choose to carry on defending for the whole game. Spogute, how are you? How are you doing? How are you doing, my brother? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, Tsasan is coming off. Twice she's been down. Oh, Ramalepe. At one point we were calling her Harry Maguire. And then at one point she did this thing, man. She did this thing. She trapped like this. And we all forgot about the comments we were making. But in any case, it remains 0-0 on their side. Here comes Mamelodi Sundowns. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh. Great moves there by Mudiba, who's finally playing midfield. Yeah? Remember I used to tell you guys, and we spoke about this, and I have a video where Urulani says the biggest regret that he has, KFCon, is that Mudiba never played midfield. And I think he said that because what he does is he cheats. They play that back three with Kutsia there. Then they allow Mudiba to drift into midfield as the left wing back. So it's very good to see him actually in midfield because that's where he ends up most games. It's just going to be interesting to see if the other guys can mesh with that, you know? Yay. I thought Tanzania scored there. Here comes the throwing from Amazulu. They're going to go try and put it in long. Let's see. Ramafo Kasani, we've been asking for this. Let's see how it goes. Oh, Clara, I want to see what Ramalepe looks like at right wing. If you can play more of a right wing. I want to see. Because the defending in the middle is but when she's out wide, I still dream about that pass. There was that pass, man, the famous pass in the Champions League where she played it through to Tolagel. Was it no, not to Tolagel? I'm forgetting who was it. Morifi? Somebody. She played it through from just past the halfway line on the right hand side. Put it on the floor. Yes. Look, guys, we can't say too much about the Sundowns game. Sundowns are dominating. At some point, they had 77% of the possession. I'm sure it's going to be more now. They have the ball in not so dangerous areas. They've had some chances where they turned the defense, but then the defense, Amazulu seemed to have adapted to that. And they're realizing that, hey, guys, we just have to be disciplined at the back. So they're forcing Sundowns to have the ball in areas that aren't necessarily that dangerous. Pega, please leave me alone. Pega, please leave me alone. We had a long therapy session yesterday. Today, I'm guaranteed no tears. So please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Just leave me alone. 39 minutes in. Both games. Guys, how halftime works is that I'm going to open it up and everybody's going to get a minute, 2 minutes to have their say for halftime. If we do want to make it that we open, and I think for today, since the double header, I'll keep it open for the second half and you guys can jump in and have your say as well. Okay, last 5 minutes. Amazulu trying to come out of their shell for the next 5 minutes and maybe take something into halftime. Might open up some spaces there, but let's see. Oh, Tanzania on the attack. Yeah, but now she tried to chip Swart from there. Swart must find it so fun to play African opponents because by and large, we're not very big as Africans, or African women's side outside of, let's say, Nigeria. They've got some height. But for the most part, a lot of the teams we face that are lower in the rankings don't have height. And that's her one weakness. Remember, in World Cup, we're all complaining. That's her one weakness. So I'm sure in these games, man, she just relaxes and goes, "Aye, man. These people are not going to cause me any issues." Hey, but the Dstv stream, what's going on now? Corner Mamelodi Sundowns. Can they get something before halftime? Oh. The Super Sport is down on the TV too. Hey, man. Hey, Muta was dying in the midfield there. Oh, she's dying in the midfield there. Oh, experiencing technical difficulties. Hey, Loftus. Sundowns was like, "Bona Loftus Yalona is giving Super Sport technical difficulties." Anyway, luckily, we've got the other game that's still on. South Africa, Banyana versus Tanzania. Also still 0-0, but remember we do have a 3-0 aggregate lead. So they don't have to do that much, man. The onus is on Tanzania to come and get us, basically. Maronza says this is how you play against Sundowns. I disagree. I think, especially in Amazulu's case, the second half of that game that they played versus Sundowns, the second half of that game, Amazulu was attacking, they were aggressive, they were pushing up, they were getting the ball. But I remember, on Sundowns' side, this is also a fairly new team setup. The players who are playing. There's some guys, Abozungu, who didn't get much game time before the past few times. Abo Esquivel, Abo Mabue. If ever there's a time for you to be able to go at them, it would be now. But I guess they still respect the Sundowns for that, I guess. I don't know. if you look at the games that Sundowns drew, Polokwane City, if you look at the game that they played versus Cape Town City had created a very new way of pressing, almost pressing from behind. They'd let the ball come into the midfield and then come and press the guys and win the ball back. So you can say this is how you play versus Sundowns, but I feel like doing this just allows Sundowns to build up their confidence, especially these players that don't play together that much. And they end up just getting their one goal. It'll be a set play. It'll be a pene. It'll be a lucky goal, but they'll get their one goal and sit back. So I'm all for going for them. Look at TS Galaxy, the 2-2 that they got. If you remember correctly, TS Galaxy started that game bright, went 2-0 up. Couldn't hold their nerve for 90 minutes, but it showed you that Sundowns is human, right? But also it shows you, especially when you look at the league, I think from all of the games that Sundowns has won up to this point, the 12 games that they've won, the 3 draws were against, Polokwane not so much, but the 3 draws were against teams that were like, "Hi guys, we're going for them. Let's go for them. Let's see what's going on," you know? So I would argue that Sundowns has 12 wins versus low block and 3 draws versus teams that actually came out to play. No, the game is not playing, Sinja. The game is not playing. They're having technical difficulties. I'm watching the Banyana game on the other side where they've got a free kick. Lina Mutalo standing over it. I think that our expensive VAR equipment is causing interferences. Kumo. Hey, Mar. VAR off. Oh, there's no VAR in the PSL. Those cameras are resting. They're off. They're unplugged. Guys, is this? No. Okay, Amazulu are not applying enough pressure on Sundowns. Problem is, by the time they decide they want to, Sundowns, you see, the strength of Sundowns' team this game was that, this season, is that it may not be beautiful, it may not be the most flowing football, but they will get their 1-0 and move on. They were very clinical at the beginning of the season with their 1-0s, with their 2-0s, you know, free kick routines, stuff like that, and then they get their goal and they live their lives for the rest of the match. What is catching up to them this time is that because Shasha is off, because a lot of the players are off, that one goal that they used to get and then relax, they can't get that goal anymore. Or they're not getting it. Not that they can't. They're not getting it the past few games. So then you start to see that Sundowns as an attack is not the strongest attack in the league. But if you give them the chance to get their confidence up, okay, they're probably the strongest in the league, but then they're not strong overall because, the bar is very low there. But if you give them the chance to get their confidence up, they will punish you. That's just the moral of the story. Very boring game. Hey, it's a boring game, stepfather. It's a boring game. It's a boring game. But we're about to go to halftime. Because we're not getting visuals from Supersport, I'll just go to halftime as soon as Banyana go to halftime. And then I'll let you guys in and we can speak. It's boring because Amazulu is sitting back. It's not because Sundowns is bad, guys. I'm watching both Downs and Banyana. Both games are boring. Yeah, Lebogang, both games are boring, but it's like, I understand Banyana because they're 3-0 up. They don't necessarily have to do much. But then, that I understand might be Sundowns, but it's more to do with Amazulu than to do with Sundowns. Guys, we've at halftime now. Still no scenes from Supersport. So I'm just going to, let me just get this right. Halftime, right? And then, I was having major problems before. And it seems like they've carried on. Let me just get at least this one right. Okay. I'm gonna open it up, guys. Remember that you have to be following me in order to jump into to speak to me here on TikTok. For those who are listening on YouTube, so let me just open, and then I'll allow you to come in and give you a minute or two, depending on how many people we get in, and then I'll just keep it open in the second half. Then we can see where we're going. Josh, yes, that's why I say that I'm not saying that Sundowns is. That's why I corrected myself by saying they're not the best attack all in all, but in terms of the league, they're far ahead of everybody. So they get their 1-0, they get their 2-0, they leave. You know, Kumo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm awesome in yourself.
I'm good. Kumo, which game do you want to focus on?
Oh, Sundowns, what a question.
What did you think of the first half?
Yeah, man, yeah. It was okay. Like Amazulu seemed like they just here to get some form of result. They were playing for a draw because they know, like, if you take on Sundowns, you're gonna get the La Messia type of scoreline. And for the first time in a long time, actually in history, we've never had a game where Bongani Zungu, Serino, Lunga, Divine. Who else am I missing out? Playing back to back, starting with Sundowns history, man. So Lizungu, yeah, like it's so nice to see those boys play, and I'm glad that we got the 1-0, the one goal in the end. So I understand why.
Wait, did you guys get a goal?
Yes.
Oh, hey, hang on. Let me update.
Why are you complaining about? Yeah?
Ile atima kama ke.
Awu wayadlala munthwena mu Super Sport Grandstand. Maybe nyaka TV ya how ele premium level la 8K yabona HD.
Tlogele man. Tlogele man. 2-2 man now. 8K for who?
Kaufura hauna wangula sengelo ka tshepa nna le wena mara.
Ke re bua ka team ya hao.
Nah,
Barakumo. It's fine.
Nah. Ish, the boys, man, bazama in terms of like they're trying to penetrate through this stubborn defense and trainer, yeah, Amazulu. Like you said, no wonder who between the both step for so. Like there's nothing much. It's one team player with itself, eh?
Okay.
And then it's about like I don't know like generation. But yeah, it's like
let me go to stepfather. What's in your game, stepfather?
Even Kuma is not convinced himself. He disagrees with me when I say the game is boring. But himself is saying Mazama, which means he's not. He's also not convinced. I don't know what he's watching.
Yeah.
We all know which is sometimes space. If you don't give them space, then they don't know what to do. Punish. So far, Amazon are not giving them space. You understand? So even himself is bored. He's even making up scores now. He's telling us it's 1-0. I don't know what you but then let's wait for the second half. Maybe second half is or something.
Okay.
Maybe
Let me go.
second half, yeah. But for now, I'm not convinced.
Let me go to Lebogang. Lebogang is somebody who's watching both games. Can you give us a short insight into both games? How are you seeing them?
I honestly don't know what's going on with Banyana. For some odd reason, they aren't able to trap the ball. Their passes are weird. I don't understand what's going on with them. Normally, they play football that I enjoy a lot. That's why I always watch Banyana. I don't miss their games. But for some odd reason today, they can't even string passes together. Nothing whatsoever. And then Downs on the other side. So I've got two laptops open in front of me. The one side I'm playing the Downs game. The one side I'm playing Banyana. I end up just watching TikTok because I'm like, what is this? What is going on? None of the teams are playing the way. Downs. What I've realized is that we are now desperate for a goal, and we are shooting but not hitting the target. Our boys are just whenever they get close to the 18, they just start shooting. So it's not nice, man. I'm a Downs fan myself. I know the kind of football I enjoy from our boys. So. But what I like more is that we are transitioning away from Mshishi, which gives me confidence that we can play without him. That's the only positive that I can draw from this. But it still shows his quality as well. His absence
he's
is
missing.
visible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Let me bring in Malome Kutso. Malome Kutso, before you give me the game, tell me the point you are making. Welcome. Okay, I'll come back. I see. I don't know what's happening. I'll come back. Agent, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Aye, man. I let go of all of my worries yesterday. Tell me, what do you think of this game?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a signal from you guys, right? An explanation. What is boring about this game? Tell me now.
Amazulu, low block. They're refusing to play.
So that makes the game boring.
Yeah.
No, this is not what is called Phillies games. Can't expect end-to-end stuff. This is professional setup. Pablo Franco Martin, his team is based on defensive solidity and then playing on the break. And I feel like they've executed it more, and I feel like they've been more dangerous than Sundowns. So I don't get the part where people say it's boring. Yes, the crosses. Yes, the Hanabu cross that passed.
The two crosses, the one corner, the three attacks.
Yes, those three attacks are way better than Sundowns. What did Sundowns do with all the possession that they had? Because Sundowns is not boring. What have they done with that possession? And it goes back to what the conversation that me and you always have. That do we expect Chiefs to play 1-2 passes? Is the South African mind programmed to think that beautiful football is the one that you have to play tiki-taka? No, guys. We have to move away from that. Every team will have its philosophy, and one that works and one that doesn't work. In this game, besides the Sereno attempt, which was offside, in my opinion, there's nothing that someone has done for its good play. So I'm not entertaining thoughts that this thing is a boring game. But anyways, lastly, I think it's interesting to see Uzungu. I think we have found the Zungu role. The Kotse role, I think, suits him better. Combine that with his aggressive side, I think it works wonders. I don't think my boy is quite executing the Alenda role the way I thought he would do it. And I'm impressed by Divine Lunga. I didn't personally rate Divine Lunga. Perhaps I was because it was Golden Arrows, but he's showing glimpses of a good player. And Firelord Zuko himself, man, I'm impressed. No, I'm impressed. The other guy can go to Bentley, unlike others that Bentley send their players online, So yeah, man. I'm impressed also
Sorry
with
for
Thomas
interrupting. I wanna ask. You watch Sundowns regularly. Are you telling me that you're entertained?
What are we doing wrong? And we build it from the back.
Not
Is
that we're
Mzungu
not
done?
doing anything wrong. It's just not an entertaining game. It's just not.
What
Compared
has to
to
be
our
entertaining?
regular,
What has to be entertaining? Us scoring six?
our normal games, the way we play them, I
What
find
is our
them
normal
quite
games?
Okay,
draw.
wait,
Like
guys. I'm gonna come back. There's a question I want to ask you guys. Look, for me, it's not necessarily. Again, tactical games can be boring because one tactic is sitting back and the other tactic is going forward. So we're watching teams playing a half crown. I would love it if Amazulu's transition that we're talking about was as strong as we're speaking of. But as it stands right now, they've got two shots, one on target, two corners, and 20 something percent possession. So for me, fine, tactically they're great. Defensively, they've come out and they're defending and they're doing well. It's built off of defensive solidity. But in terms of going forward, I don't think Sundowns has been worried that much by them. And that's why I'm saying that for me, it's boring in that sense, that it seems like it's two teams who have one side of the textbook. So Sundowns has the possession attacking side of the textbook, and they're only using that, not necessarily using defense at all. And then Amazulu has come in to defend. And why I'm a little bit concerned about that is Amazulu looked really good in the second half that they played versus Sundowns when they decided to be a little bit more positive in their transition. Right now, it's just tibang, and don't give them space. But anyway, I don't want to get too far. I'll take too much time. Kumo, is this how you play? Is this how you play Sundowns?
I don't know. It depends on which team Sundowns puts out, because you never know. We've got boring games today, as people put it. Kabushi, we've got tiki taka. Kabushi, we are attacking. Kabushi, we are much more possession. I don't know. But you know what? People should stop this thing of looking to Sundowns to watch beautiful football. When their guy Fox teams play whatever games they play, like we don't come on the third song and say, hey, those teams play boring football. I get Sundowns doesn't owe them football or scandal generation some of Vango Wadala no. Some of them give me or go support Banyana. Leave our stuff here. No man, I wanna be Sundowns, so ne? I like what Amazulu is doing for Sundowns because and now Peter is on the bench. So what that tells me that is that he's gonna be hungrier, especially when his striking partner is on and he's not. So in his mind, he's probably thinking, Rolando doesn't believe in me because I've been delivering goals for the past 3 games. So now I'm gonna have to prove to him, and especially to him and his supporters, you know what? I deserve to be here starting next week and all the games. I'm the most prolific striker, and he's gonna want to prove a point when he comes in here. So I want to know emotional like trigger way. They follow here sharp.
Let me go to stepfather. Is this how you play Sundowns? Is this what teams should be doing?
Amazon are not even doing much. They're not even doing much. You remember the first leg between Amazulu and Sundowns? Amazulu were playing better than what they're doing today. So that's why I'm saying this game is boring, because no one is doing that much. They are just there with Sodlara, and so this game is boring, but I cannot say this is the way to play against Sundowns, because even Amazulu are not doing anything there. So for me, this game izokulalisa nje mawuthi bungalalanga izolo ulalele ithi uzolala uzositholela. Another thing, when you watch Sundowns, I mean I'm a soccer lover, I'm a Pirate supporter, I hate Sundowns, but then when I watch Sundowns, I mean there's Shika busy, I mean Mshishi. When Mshishi is there, that guy can make the team play. You understand? When Mtawi is there, there's this thing ukuthi khona abantu abadlalayo. So today I think they missed them. They miss Mtawe, and then the last game I watched Sundowns, Mkwena was doing something so today, even Mkwena for me is not Mkwena that I know. So for me, I'm bored.
Okay. Lebogang, is this how you beat Sundowns? Or how you play Sundowns?
No, thing is, Sundowns always finds spaces. We are gonna score, definitely, but like the reason why I talk about a boring game is because we are shooting outside the box. Mshishi finds spaces. When he's there, he dribbles around the box and opens up spaces, and we attack perfectly. You know, we don't just shoot aimlessly. Okay, sometimes we do shoot like the goals that Mokwena has been getting, but we are not shooting desperately when we play our style of play, you know. So we are going to win this game. That much I know. It's just that it's not. Yeah, it's not what we've become accustomed to, you know. The nice display where we are at the stadium. No, I go to all the games at the stadium. Just that today, because I didn't have someone to take care of my daughter, I had to be at home. You know, when Sundowns plays, bro, we don't even sit down. We're seeing the whole game, and you scream based on how on the quality of football that you're seeing there. You're just standing there and you are wowed all the time. I go to the stadium, all home games I attend. Just that today and the last game, I couldn't attend them. Yeah, and today's game is just not one that is entertaining to me. You can have your own personal perspective that they are entertaining to you, but to me, I'm not entertained. That's what I'm saying. It's boring to me.
Okay. Well, okay. Me, I think we have a disagreement there, but Agent, is this how you play Sundowns?
Yeah, the question is, can you sustain it? That's the bigger question. Because what you do is, when you're creating the half spaces, compact in the middle, you're forcing them to go out wide. And if you look at us, we don't necessarily have the strongest of headers of the ball, So when you force us outside and you squeeze us in the middle, we get forced to take long range shots, which I think also is dangerous, because when you have Mokoena and Mudiva taking those shots, it's another thing. So I like what Martin is doing. If only they could transition a bit faster, for me, they would kill Sundowns, But this is, for me, if you don't trust your high pressing game, this is another way. It's a variation of playing Sundowns. I think there's two ways to play Sundowns. This is one of it. Yeah,
Could
the
I
first
make an
one is
argument?
play high. Yeah.
Could I make an argument that many teams have played this way, and 12 of them have lost the game, and the 3 that didn't necessarily play this way got a point at the very least?
Chiefs attacked us and they lost.
Sometimes
with Sundowns, you will lose somehow. Somewhere you will lose. You
There's
will
the goal.
lose somehow.
There's the goal. Sorry, there's the goal. Watch. This is what I'm saying. You sit back and then you're going to. But anyway, there's the goal. Ribeiro scored. Apologies there, Agent. I just had to say it there.
No, it's fine. Somewhere you will. Somewhere you will lose by Sundowns, by hook or by crook, by crook has to be there, even if it's a dodgy penalty, you will lose somehow because of Sundowns, But for me, I think, like I said, it's a variation. The question is, it's a mental thing. So you see, when you press up high and do what other teams have been doing, tiers and other stuff like that, you can't sustain it for 90 minutes because you get tired physically. Hence, we scored the 2 late goals. You get tired physically. Then, when you do like what Amazulu is doing, you get tired mentally because it's not easy to be concentrated 90 minutes. So, like I said, you will lose by Sundowns. There's no Chiefs. It's fine.
Why do you guys always have to take a shot before leaving? Kumo, is this the fate of all the teams? And as somebody who watches Sundowns and you see another team come out and they're playing this low block, do you think that is effective? Right now, Sundowns committed 6 players into the box on every attack because they know that Amazulu is not going to do anything in reply. What do you think of these tactics that they use?
It's so sad because most of our opponents, whereby it's in Africa CAF or PSL, they've tried this low block, and in some games it has worked. But one thing about Rolando learns from his mistakes. He watches the game afterwards and he finds countermeasures on how he can overcome these new tactics these teams have adopted. So low blocks works, for 1 or 2 games. Mara over time, Sundowns will always find a way to overcome it. So it's a tactic, yeah, but we can overcome it. But also, you saw, Hore, it depends on on which teams also that low block was used against. Remember, it
Yeah.
was only effective when Rolando wasn't really rotating his squad. We had
Yeah.
some very tired players back then. So now you think you're gonna do this low block against players who are arguably French players of Sundowns, players who are fresh, players who are well rested. I know I'm throwing cycle belts to my players who want to prove a point. Shame it won't work. So Agit, even now as an avid Sundowns supporter, I don't know how to beat Sundowns unless we do Mvala, a referent card, lady handball or lady on goal. I think
Yeah.
that's the guaranteed way you can beat Sundowns. Other than that, you have to be creative.
Ariska ateka nomvala ke re more protector ke.
Let me go to Stepfather. I think we all think that it's safe, Mara. Ukuba safe kwabo now abantu bayadliwa, and the only time it hasn't been where Sundowns has been under pressure has been when teams are a bit more positive. Do you think that lento low block man yasebenza? Should the teams be doing this, or should they be trying different things? Yes, Stepfather. Hey, stepfather Aseko. He's busy then no in the comments. Lebogang, same question to you. I'm sure you heard the question. What do you think of what I've just said?
Yellow block.
Yellow block, or everybody deems it to be the safest tactic. Everyone says when you play
No.
Sundowns, it's safe to be low block.
It's not. It's not. I've watched our games too many times to know that you are just causing yourself problems by playing low block. I mean, we're not saying go toe to toe because that's impossible, but also low block is not the way to go. It can minimize the amount of goals Sundowns is gonna score, but it also guarantees that you're gonna lose and give us a clean sheet because then you're not attacking. On another note, I just wanted to say, let's not hang our dirty laundry in public. Mvala, we know he's gonna concede penalties and whatnot, but let's not speak about it publicly.
All you guys need to do is to make sure that Mvala has the bandage on his head from minute one. Nothing will happen. Let me go to.
I think he has I don't know, man. He has a bad luck of conceding penalties, which is crazy in a very unexpected way. But he's solid. This season has been playing quite well. So yeah.
We'll see. Leicester Plus must do something. Let me go to Usije. I'm jumping you into the deep end. What did you think of the first half? And then secondly, Tabaya low block, man. They keep telling me that this low block is the way to play against Sundowns, or else you concede 6. But the only teams that have come in and actually taken a point from Sundowns were positive teams. Not necessarily toe-to-toe, but more positive. And they were able to do it. And everybody else pretty much fell by the wayside. What do you think?
On the first half issue, I don't have much comment to say. I mean, like even SuperSport can realize that this team does not generate any revenue in terms of viewers. They can just cut the entire first half and no one will care. But anyway, they know they're not going to lose any money when they're not going to show 20 minutes of the first half. 20 minutes of they know, man. I mean, it's not like they're gonna lose money and advertisement. The second one, why is Vele Motwa not in the starting lineup? The reason why I'm asking this, it is they are playing a low block, right? And the goalkeeper, a cross comes through. Right? What's going on with the ball boy?
Hey, the ball boy is not giving the ball boy was sent off. He's not giving the ball fast enough. I've never seen a ball boy get sent off.
They have one. They have taken a ball boy out for doing that.
I've seen a ball
But-
boy catch a mpama from Munare, but I haven't seen. But anyway, carry on.
No, I'm saying is this. I find it very strange. They're playing a low block. Let's look at this goal. The the ball is coming from a particular direction, right? And in that particular direction, you've got 3 Sundowns players that are in the position where the ball is coming from. You've got 4 of your players that are in the position of where the ball is going.
Yeah.
And when you are making a save, you are returning the ball to where the Sundowns players. You are not pushing it towards your own players. What nonsensical is that? That goalkeeper must be investigated. He must be very much investigated. Like, seriously, you can see that there's a player here Sundowns that is in the direction of where the ball is going. You've got 3 of your defenders. And guess what? You just push it towards them.
Just before Sinje, we have a goal from Banyana. We have a goal from Banyana. Aggregate score now is 4-0. So guys, we're going through. We're going through. We're going to meet Nigeria more than likely. But anyway, Sinje, you can carry on.
I mean, like, it's things like that I really don't understand. That the players, when they play against Sundowns, these teams, they don't have this mentality that they have when they are going to play Chiefs. Hey, let me go.
The moment you said Chiefs, the phone started ringing. Okay, so free kick goal from Banyana. Very well worked free kick. It looked like it was a set play that they'd practiced through the legs of the Tanzanian player on the side. And Sundowns also scores. Sundowns also scores again. 2-0. 2-0. And whoa. Wrong one. 2-0. And then what you're gonna see, Amazulu is gonna start playing. Amazulu is gonna start playing the game they should have played at the beginning of the game, and then it's gonna be too late. This is what I was telling you guys. That by the time you wake up and you're done with your low blocks and all of that stuff, you look up and it's 2-0. You look up and it's 2-0. So what have you gained from playing the low block? What have you gained? This is my question. And don't get me wrong. This is where our chat with the agent always comes in. Saying that you can be a little bit more positive doesn't mean that you have to be pound for pound with Sundowns and go pound for pound and go mano a mano pushing 4 players when they push 4 players. No. But where's your threat going to come from? Where's your threat? That is the question. Sundowns can afford to commit 6 players into an attack. Overload your box. Because they know that you're not going to do anything in return. So it's fun to give these low block games and it's fun to sit back and all of that stuff. But like I said, possibly 8 or 9 out of the 12 games that Sundowns has won up to this point have been low block teams that were doing the safest thing. And at least 2 of the 3 draws came from teams that were positive. Cape Town City was pressing from the front. So what is this idea that we have? And that's where I say the game is boring. Because all of you are coming to Sundowns and doing the same exact thing. And by the time you wake up, it's 2-0. That's what bores me. It's not necessarily Sundowns. Sundowns is not the boring part of this. The boring part is these teams thinking, guys, we're just going to sit back and then we'll do whatever. Watch Amazulu. The game that they were meant to play in the first half, watch them try play it now. Anyway, sorry. Yes, a very nice goal for Banyana. We need to show Nigeria flames. Clara says, I don't understand how they didn't anticipate that play. It's weird, Clara, because that was in the box. I was going to say, that was in the box. That free kick set play was not a set play that goes to the top of the box like usual. That was inside the box. And not one defender picked up Utembi. Not one. Hi, guys. Tanzania. But it is 4-0. For all intents and purposes, that game is done. For all intents and purposes, we are through. I don't see Tanzania being able to come back and hit us 4 goals. I don't think so. So Ribeiro was out for a long time and is among the top scorers. It is crazy, Kumo. It is crazy. Can you name the team that play against Sundowns and get a point? Cape Town City, Polokwane City, and Orlando Pirates. Those are the teams that came out and played versus Sundowns and got a point. Yeah, Kumo, that is an issue with our South African game. Our South African game, hey, it strikers there, guys. It strikers there. And I want your opinion. I want your opinion on something. And it's still open for guys to jump in, but I've got a specific question. Do we think that our strikers are that bad? Or do we think that our coaching of strikers is lacking something? And what I mean by that is, I think in South Africa, we have a tendency of leaning on natural ability. Leaning on, hey, lomfani yakora, so uyokora. Right? We don't teach them about, late runs, off the shoulder, diagonal runs, timing, things like that. And then we wonder when they're bad. And I mean this from the bottom all the way to the top, that our strikers don't get taught these things. And it's a point that Gavin Hunt was saying in an interview, did a podcast episode in an interview where he said that, sometimes you can't, and I'm paraphrasing, sometimes you can't lean on the talent of the player. Sometimes you need to tell the player, Wade, when you get to this point of the pitch, you must cross like this. And then, Robla will finish off the ball. He said his team was something that he drilled throughout the week, the goal that they scored the game before the last one. And he was like, the game was Stellenbosch, Cape Town City, where he was like, I don't understand why my players stopped doing that. They had a chance to do that all game. And I asked them at the end of the game, guys, you saw it work once, you didn't do it. So our strikers just being left to their own devices and not being shown what it means to be a striker. Let me see the comments. South Africans prioritize defense more than attack. Watch even when we play against world-class teams. That is true. Sundowns, Amazulu, right here. Kolani, teams are not playing according to the strengths of their strikers. I love that point, Kolan. I love that point. And I'll use an example. I don't want to mention my team, but I'll mention it. I'll use the example. I saw Rangachiva Vairo running back past midfielders to go and collect the ball in the midfield. So 4 players were ahead of him. And then I thought to myself, you've got this really big guy. Shall we tend now? You've got this really big striker who's very good with his head, who's very good with, losing defenses. He's very good physically at that. He's very good at finishing off through balls. But yet, he has to drop all the way back to go pick up a ball and then somehow make it all the way forward. I feel the same way about Evidence Mahopa. Evidence Mahopa is an incredible, when you give him balls where it's in between the defense and the goalkeeper, and it's in transition where the defense is facing their own goals. Evidence Mahopa is incredible at finishing those things. Also aerial in general, very good. Also good at through balls from the top of the box. If you just give him a through ball, usually when play is broken down. But anyway, he's very good at that. Then you ask, how many times does Pirates make that movement in a game to where your striker can be strong? Then we look at guys like Abo Krobla. Supersport comes third every season or fourth every season around there, simply because they don't complicate things. Krobla, ngene boxing boy. If anything falls out from that thing, Jugamanja can finish it off. But our primary thing is that we're gonna get the ball, we're gonna cross early, and you're gonna get to run at defenses where even if it hits the defender, it might go out. It's a tactic for scoring. And it's a question I always ask on this show when we watch our teams play. What is the tactic that's going to get us the goals? And why are we using those tactics? And that's where you see it. And even development. I made the point the one day, and I don't know, maybe things have changed with the new kids, but I made the point that I said that I was a striker. I don't remember having one practice. Swina Malik senza zonke lezinto. I don't remember one practice where people sat me down and said, George, when you get the ball and the defender's here, you must do this. George, ngiyakubona ukuthi untswembu fast, but when the fast goes away and now defender says so, you move like this. When the defense, and when they break it down in Europe, you're like, wow, I wish I'd known those things. Now, I want to know, are we getting that type of education for our players? Are our players getting that type of education when they're coming up? A lot of people here will say school football is the way forward. Then I ask you guys, who's coaching the school football? Is it a CAF A licensed coach, or is it Ubab Mahlangu, who was picked to take a ball? Could have gotten rugby, but then he got soccer. What are we learning? Are the players getting the right type of development? And then we wonder when we get here and you've got veterans of the league, Abu Chiba Vairo, and Chiefs fans are coming in and saying they need a strikers coach. But anyway, let me not go too long. It's still 2-0, Mamelodi Sundowns, 1-0 on the Banyana match. Banyana, of course, don't have to do much. Teams are not playing. Misunderstood says this is what you get when you buy players. You get great determined quality players. The Fat Man says, who's the coach of Polokwane City? It's Puti Mohafe. Is it Mohafe? He took over after Siema left. Siema left, I think 3 games ago. No, Polokwane. Yeah. Siema left Polokwane about 3 or 4 games ago to go coach Iskukune. So right now, keep Puti Mehafe, something like that. Musa says they want to be, oh, what a save. They want to be a Tikom Dise Dokumalo, Black Jesus, Chabupul, etc. says Musa. Most players in SA aspire to be midfielders. Now Amazulu wants to attack. I told you. Now they want to attack. Now they want to expose Sundowns' defense. Now, after 2-0. And this is the pattern of the PSL when they play versus Sundowns. And then that's where Sundowns catches you. Or sometimes Sundowns under so much pressure that it just stays 2-0. But if you had played more positively when you started the match, remember, guys, the other thing that we speak about, and maybe most PSL teams can't do it, I don't know. But the one thing you speak about is, are you going there, when you put in players, are you putting players to defend the other guy's person, or are you putting in players to pin that person back? So I always make the example of Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch doesn't commit a lot of players forward, but they understand that when we get the ball, we have to have enough threat through Reyners or Van Wyk. Usually it's Van Wyk. Reyners or Van Wyk, where you have to think twice as the other team. Sundowns is committing 6 players into the attack. 2 players are up high. There's 2 players sitting at the back chilling, right? You need to have a way to break when you say we're playing transition, and that's where our formations and tactics let us down, because Amazulu played an incredible defensive game first half, but they added nothing going forward, which just allowed Sundowns to get more confidence and carry on building and coming and getting a goal from a mistake, right? Where was the threat in the first half? Now, you see what's happening now. Sundowns can't afford to take as many players forward right now because they're under pressure. Why don't our teams do those type of things? And you don't have to commit 10 players forward, 6 players forward. You just have to know that when the ball gets played out, I just need 2 guys who are ready to torment that defense so we can show a threat. You look at teams like Liverpool. Your left back will not leave left back because Mohamed Salah never goes back. Look, now they're playing. Again, Same thing. They just got a shot. They just got a shot on goal. Now they play. But anyway, as I was saying, when you're playing Mohamed Salah, you can't leave a space there because he's going to hurt you. So if you're Amazulu and you've got no one leaving space to hurt them, what do you think is going to happen throughout the game? Look at what's happening now that they're more positive. And to Sundowns' credit, they don't have to play that hard. It's 2-0. Maybe they're also just going, all right, let's preserve the lead. But this is what I'm saying when I say it's a boring game when I watch teams play Sundowns, because they're so scared to even have a plan to attack. I remember when Chiefs played the Sundowns. I don't know if you guys remember when Unseki was playing a back three and they were trapping. No, he was playing a back four with a three in front of them and he was trapping Masego on the sides. Fine, you did that well for the whole game. Now, what was your outlet plan when Dupreez is marking here? And I was like, all they really needed to do was get the ball and have a plan, direct it somewhere. AB is the weak point. Dupreez already got him on the yellow card. Play the ball out that way. Make it a threat. Rulani even said in the Chiefs game that Mudau was sitting back. And then we were waiting for Chiefs to do something. So when Chiefs didn't do anything, I pushed him forward because there was no threat on that side. When are PSL teams going to come with a plan that doesn't just say, oh, guys, let's defend? All right, guys, but, guys, Southampton teach boot science, how to kick, receiving the ball, ball trapping, and running off the ball. Exactly, Ndabentle. Mara Evidence missed 2 direct headers this past week, and his first touch is horrible, so he can't finish. That's why the Fatman Titan, or Titan, that's why I'm saying that would you rather then, knowing that your striker can't trap, the example I gave Pirates and what I said he's strong at doesn't involve trapping. But now you're dropping him all the way back and he's playing link man, he's playing center forward, he's playing target man, he's playing wing assist, he's playing midfield assist. And now you're magnifying his weaknesses. Like you say, can't trap. So what do? You miss your 2 headers, I give you 3 more. It's better than you dropping back and losing balls in the midfield, or you dropping back and not being able to connect. And then once we finally get the ball up, because you drop back, there's no one in the box. Then we say our strikers are useless. You know? The last striker we watched develop and improve in front of our eyes was Manyatela. Even Pirates keeps the ball for fun, says Master Goodwill. Lyrical Pope says, which team has beaten Sundowns in the PSL this season? I will wait. No, but Clemza, that's my point. My point is, the odds are you're going to lose the game. But you've watched 12 teams lose the game to Sundowns. 9 or 10 of them have played low block when playing in Sundowns. The few times where Sundowns was beaten or Sundowns gave up a point was literally when teams came out and did what? Played positively. So that's why I'm saying that if Amazulu played this football that they were playing, and now they're getting tired, but if they played this football at least for a good 20-25 minutes of the first half, how does the game look? Does Sundowns engage as many players going forward? Do they do those type of things? But it's fine. Guys, it is open. You guys do know that the lines are open. If you're on TikTok, you can join me live and we can speak. Malome Kutso, how are you, my brother?
Kimnati, Mr. Oti, how are you?
No, Kimnati, man.
Hi, man, Mr. Oti. You're disrespecting our queen. I felt it, I must come and address this.
I wanted, yeah, you fell off. Yes.
Yeah, the most important player in South Africa, male or female. Our reference point, almost every attack, almost every good attack comes through Utembi. Utembi, Mr. Oti, carries that team on her back. Yes, you can have game. You can have games where it's sort of balanced for Banyana in terms of strength. But once the opponents are stronger than us, we legit almost have one player. We play 9-1. She is a reference for everything. Even if you go to the Argentina game, you read the score sheet, it will say Tembi and Linda Matano.
Assisted by who?
No, wait for me. When you will see the score sheet saying Linda and Tembi. But when you watch that game, you see Utawa, Linda must not be on the score sheet. Kahle kahle. She was legit given a free goal. Utembi went through and decided, which you know what, I'm gonna share. You understand? I'm gonna attack Banyana. And I'm talking when the going gets tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack Banyana, start from a center. And it's always Utembi carrying the ball. Something like Thierry Henry.
And who scores when our backs are against the wall? Who scores usually?
Bengifuna ukuza lapho. You know, Hilda scores, ne? But she scores at the rate. Yaga, who's that guy who used to play for Liverpool? Divock Origi. If you don't watch all the games, you'll think Divock is a superstar. Can't Divock is scoring Kari finals, scoring when most people are watching. But when you check the score sheet, Mr. Uti, Utembi is always there. In as much as we think Uti, it's Hilda, she's the breadwinner.
No, Malume Kuzo, you misunderstand my point. I think that's where we're jumping off of. We're missing each other. My point is not that Hilda.
That's why.
It's not that Hilda is the most important player. It's that Hilda and Tembi play well together. And Utembi usually scores not from the 9-1. When we play 9-1, remember during the World Cup, during the WAFCON, all I was saying was, don't leave Tembi alone, because Tembi does not score when she's alone. When Hilda's there, that's when we see the best Tembi. That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I don't agree with. I'm saying she takes the ball and runs with it. And
when does she score, Malume Kuzo? When does she score?
Either way.
No, Malume Kuzo. When does she score?
I'm responding to what you are saying. I don't understand. I understand you very well. And I'm saying against Spain, she took the ball and she went and bent the ball alone, Mr. OT.
From whose pass? Who gave her the ball in the space?
Spain. I'm saying Spain.
Yes,
Spain.
when she bent the ball, there was a ball played to her on the left-hand side, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you want to confirm which was played by Hilda?
I'll check. Oh, there we go. Sundowns 3-0. Sundowns 3-0.
I'm watching the national team, man.
Oh, no, I'm just updating. I'm updating. Yeah. I'm updating everyone.
I'm watching the most important team right now. That's Banyana. Linda Banna. You see such things. But all I'm saying, Mr. OT, is like I said in the comments, you are magnifying her shortfalls.
No, Malume Kuzo.
And exaggerating the great moments that Hilda had.
That's great offense, but how many times does she score the one-on-ones? And I think that's why I'm like, I'm not saying that she's bad. I'm saying that when Tembi, usually when they're playing 9-1, I hate it when they play 9-1, because what happens is that Tembi is alone. She's the outlet. She gets the ball. She usually loses it because she's alone. Where they've been strong, and even now you can tell by coach playing a 2, pushing Jermaine to be her partner, that when she has a partner, that's when she's even better. And then in terms of Hilda, all I said about Hilda was, they call her the breadwinner because when the chips are down, that's who scores. Whether she scores 1 goal every 5 games, that goal is always going to be important. Taking point, the Tanzania goal, first goal here. So I'm saying that Hilda for me is the best composed. I didn't say she's the highest scoring, but when the chips are down, Tembi is the outlet, yes, but the person who always gets the goal that we need is Hilda.
And that's why I disagree, OT. Hilda scores, like, the chips weren't necessarily down. It was the final, and she scored 2 goals. And we weren't behind. We took the
She
lead
scored in the semi-final too. She scored the goal that took us into the semi-final. She scored the goal in the World Cup, the first goal.
The chips weren't really down. We were in the ascendance, really. But when the chips
Mara,
are
who's got
actually
Mara?
down, when-
You see, you're now
No, I'm
making
saying,
what he
I'm
does
saying,
less important. There was no goals at that
no, I'm
point.
saying, I think I gave her a compliment when I said she's like Dibok Origi. Or Mona Origi. If you
I
remember
disagree
Origi,
with that.
how he-
I think she's like Bale. She's like Bale. Whenever Real Madrid, yes, Cristiano was the star, but in finals, whenever they needed something, when the chips were down, when it was we needed a goal somewhere, Bale will stand up. And again,
And
it's
I'm
not to
saying-
say and to compare Hilda to Divock, a bench player.
Well, okay, you can say Bale, but the chips are not necessarily down, Mr. OT. And I'm saying, if you put Utembi is like the player you put in when Amazulu is playing Sundowns for Amazulu,
Yes,
and
she'll
she will
score
take on
3.
his Sundowns.
Yeah.
And no, for Amazulu, she will take on his Sundowns, and the Sundowns defenders will be tired just from Utembi alone.
But
The
then what
Sundowns
comes from that, Malume Kuto? What comes from it? That she
gets
score
the
in those
goal.
situations.
She does eventually get the goal. Well, so I mean, I just wanted to say, Hilda is not necessarily important to Utembi. And yes, she does score. But I don't want us to take away from Utembi, guys. Utembi is not a Mohamed Salah. She's closer to a Thierry Henry and Kylian Mbappe than a Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah benefits from like Angazi, from other teammates. Utembi, Mr. Uti, can take it from literally in our half. And Akunya 3, 4.
But does she score at the
Literally,
end when she does that?
She
I was still going to
does.
ask you
We're
the same
talking about
question.
Kev Champion Palando winner, Kev Palando. She does, Mr. OT. That's why I think you underestimate how much she scores. Check the score sheet of Banyana and tell me how many games you see Utu Tembi is not there. I think Okawa Utu Tembi scores once a month. She scores every
No.
game.
Against who and what situations?
Against
I'm not
everyone.
saying she scores the most. I've never disputed the most. Malume Kuts, I've
I'm
never
saying against
disputed the
everyone.
most.
Bring any opponent. If she doesn't score, maybe it's like when Angaz, yo, once in a blue
Okay.
moon. But I'm a defender, Apuma Katele. They
I
know.
wish
but
Clara
look
even
at that.
left.
Yeah, I wanted Aus Clara to come in. I think Malume Kuto, I'm not diminishing Tembi. You think I'm diminishing her. I'm not diminishing her at all. I'm not. I'm just saying that in the games where we've seen Banyana be the best, it's a combination of Tembi and Hilda. That's what I'm saying. Tembi is a threat, very threatening. I'm not going to take that away from her. She usually goes out early one, but the problem is, and we said this all of the World Cup. We remember you were here, all of the World Cup. Guti, let's not let Tembi be alone, because when she gets the ball and she has it for too long, we are minus, yes. But if there's no support, she's not going to score. That's why I'm like, I would much rather think of her more as a Mohamed Salah than a Henry, because Henry used to finish all of those moves, right? But Utembi, you were here. We watched the World Cup together. Where we were complaining that Utembi, sometimes she gets a little bit too selfish. Sometimes she tries too many skills. Sometimes when she gets there and she's got time, she's a bit off. But when you push somebody up with her, and again, Desiree is literally doing that now. When you push somebody with her and you have somebody who can, one, take the load off of her a little bit, but also interact with her, then you see the best her. And I'm not saying that the best hair, that she's not good when she's not playing. She's incredible when she's not their best hair. But when you see her incredible is when she plays with someone, which is something we watched. How many games have we watched about Banyana? And we've said the same thing about Mamelodi.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you something, OT? Can I ask you something, OT? Can I ask you something, OT? What is the best strength of that girl at Sundowns? What is his name?
So again,
The one that shoots on sides. Again, what is his strength? Yeah, what is his
shoot on
strength?
side. Shoot on side.
Shoot on side, you know? So with Tembi also, that is the strength for me, that he does well when he's eliminating players. So for me, I wouldn't say he's a Henry. Henry, it would be a disrespect to Kaizer.
That's what I'm saying.
No
you see.
offense. But for me,
disrespect to
I feel
Kaizer,
like he is. Yes, it would be a disrespect to Kaizer. I feel like he's more of a Ronaldo way. Yes, he's selfish. Yes, he's all those things, but the good that he does is far outweighs the better that he does.
That's what I said. That's why I said it's not Henri, it's Ronaldo. I said exactly your words.
No, but isn't that Abutikuta's point?
No.
Yeah.
He's
I
saying
know you
that.
felt that.
Okay, let me hear Kutu. Let me hear Abutikut. Yes.
OT, I know you felt that. That was so disrespectful to the legendary Thierry Henry.
No, nah.
Wait, guys. How's Clara?
But it's fine.
How's Clara Kupa Orila Mulele? Oh, what are your insights on this?
Oh, yeah, I think I hear where you're coming from, but Harris Savedisa, these two matches as a case study. I mean, 3 goals versus 1 goal, and she assisted. She also got a goal. I don't think we can take away from Tembi per se, but I think she's one of those players that she's great at what she does, but you don't want to overload her with responsibility. Okay, Laban. You don't want her to fetch the balls too deep, because if she fetches them, she can -3, but she doesn't convert. But when someone else is doing that, she then gets to convert. But also, I think I said earlier, Godi comments in that I feel like Hasa Palili Hilda, even offloading, she's hesitant. Like she holds onto the ball so much longer when Hilda is not there. But her Hilda Ali thing, I think Jermaine's goal in the first leg, she offloads almost instantly, like what pass, okay, one. So I think Tembi is great, but she's the kind of player that you want her to do the bare minimum that she's great at. You don't want her to be carrying the team, because I don't know, even her body language, at some point she gets frustrated and her effectiveness goes down. The harder she works, I think the less effective she is. And I also think it's an okay thing. We cannot expect her to be a forward and be fetching balls from so far deep and expect that will be okay. In the comments, I've been posting, like, I like how Rama is looking forward with less defensive pressure. Figile has been going forward, but her passes are not getting completed. But you also realize the importance of them playing as a unit. Whenever they play as a unit, they are strong. Whenever Tembi is the only star, I mean, yeah, she is the star, but the team doesn't get as favorable results as when the unit is, playing together. So I think, I guess that's Arona, and there are people that make her better. You can't take away, but you can always make a star better. I think that's what she misses, her Hilda as a thing, that thing that just makes her go and have the comfort. Okay, I know the pass is coming. I know the pace that it's coming with. Okay, I think there's that cohesion, her Hilda thing, because even Jermaine Lena, she's so far deep. And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't think that was the strategy. I think it's just frustration kicking in. But without Hilda, these guys, I said earlier, Hori, it's like the middle field without Jane, but the difference is the forwards, you see them more because the consequences are higher as opposed to the middle. But with that lack of composure, our team is a great team, but it's not a converting team. I mean, today we came away with 1 goal and Tanzania was not playing. It was not here. They were just committing fouls, saying, tafela. So I think Hilda is the breadwinner. She is the salt. She is the sauce. The others may be like the bigger components, stew, meat, whatever, but Hilda is the one that puts it together. Yeah.
Let me see. Malume Kutso.
Mr. OT, firstly, the score is 3-0. Are you all expecting Banyana to run ragged? Baya win, very. Even Sundowns, when they're winning Boma 3-0 first leg, they go second leg and they relax. It's understandable. The game is wrapped up. And to Asians, I agree with everything you were saying. I my disagreement is not a real disagreement. It's just that I was like, hey, Banda, do you know
That's
who team
yeah,
is
that's
this?
the sense. Like, yeah.
I was like, what? Do you know what? I once posted something, sorry to deviate a bit. I was like, I've seen Messi, I've seen Ronaldo, but I've never seen an individual carry a team the way Thierry Henry used to carry that Arsenal team. He would legit, Ngare high school, take the ball from the back and run with it as a shine it. And not just once, not just twice, almost every day. But my problem was that when you said Salah, Salah can't even carry Egypt. When Salah
But
plays for
then,
Egypt, we are Monuti. I was not my Salah playing.
but then, Malume Kuto, to your
Salah is
point,
okay when
I think I now understand your point. But to your point, Henri did all of that and didn't win anything at Arsenal. Well, he won early, but then later on when he had to carry, that's the point we're making about Utembi. Utembi, when Tembi has to carry, as it should. The moment Henri landed at Barcelona and there was Kemang, bo Messi, bo Eto, bo Ronaldinho, it's not to say that Henri was playing any better than he was at Arsenal. Probably incredible at Arsenal. But when he got to that place and he had other people around him, it made him more effective in terms of, you know, now as a team we're going forward, which is the point we're making about Utembi, that Utembi is incredible alone. She's a great player. The issue is that she is even better for the team when Hilda's there. That's the only point I was making.
yeah, that's fair. But some of the examples,
She's still not a star. I'm not saying Hilda's the star. I'm not saying Hilda's the star.
Yeah, I'm like, but we're saying Henry went and played Nabo Eto, Nabo Messi. Hilda is not an Eto to like and a Messi to Henry the way she is to Utembi. No, guys, like yo,
I think you're disrespecting Hilda. I'm telling you, go back to all of the games. When we need a goal, when it's lit, the only person who gets goals is Hilda. Then everybody follows. She opens the door.
I think the example for me that I would give for Hilda, I would say is Angel Di Maria. You know, he's always quiet, always thin, but he's a clutch player. But he's a clutch player.
Yeah.
I think I can settle on saying Hilda is a Di Maria playing with a CR7. No, not Les Beziza. Yeah, no agent. I can
This
step
is why
down.
I said Bale. Oh, Mara Malume Kuto. This is why I said Bale. Bale to Ronaldo. Ronaldo scored all of the goals, but when it came down to finals, who was scoring? Bale. It doesn't make Bale better than Ronaldo. You get what I mean?
It's one of those views that I have with Upale is something else. He's a call for that one. But Di Maria, CR7, that one, I feel it.
Okay.
Moving away, guys. So back to my game, because I came here for my game. So this is the entertaining game that is this entertaining now?
Yeah.
Is it entertaining? Is it
It actually
entertaining?
did get entertaining. It did. No, I'm not gonna lie. It got better. No. It got better. It got better. No. Do you know why it got better? It got better because Amazulu actually put you guys under pressure at some point. That's why I'm saying that it was a little bit better in terms of entertainment because we weren't watching a Sundowns training drill. Yeah, half crowd. They actually came out.
So I think it goes to your question. Yeah. So is the Middendorp or Bruce style boring to you?
No, because Middendorp scores. Middendorp at Chiefs would have defended but would have scored. There would be threat. There would be threat.
On a set piece.
Yeah, but there would be threat. Amazulu didn't have a threat in the first half.
They did.
And then also, check. Let me. Then when you play against Middendorp agent, you play against Middendorp. No matter what you do as a team, even if you're saying it's a set piece, I still have to think about that set piece. So I have to tell my players, guys, don't give away free kicks here and here and here. And I know that Chiefs is going to push to try get free kicks there and there and there. But if I'm watching a team that is just sitting back and they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever happens, happens. And then they end up losing anyway. By the time they woke up, it's 2-0. Now it's too late. whatever you're doing, it's too late. That's why I'm like, the second half was a little bit more exciting than the first half because Amazulu, just like the first time you guys played them, they woke up. They were like, "Hi guys, we could go forward here." You get me? That's why I'm saying that it's a little bit better in the first half because tactically, the tactics weren't just one-sided in terms of we're just defending here. They actually went, okay, let's push Brooks up. Let's put in Abu Maluleke. Let's give them a game. That's what I mean by entertaining. Tactical football can be boring too.
I think that's where we have to disagree that when a team is doing its job tactically, what is boring for me?
It was about time. What did we say? We were like, Sundowns is going to score eventually.
No, the thing is, so let's say in a hypothetical world, let's say this game ends in a 0-0 draw. Wouldn't they have done their job? Wouldn't they have done their job?
Sorry, if it ends in a 0-0 draw, yeah, they would have done their job. Doesn't mean that the game isn't boring.
No, I don't.
Does boring have to do with the result?
I think for you guys, yes.
No.
For you guys, a game has to be entertaining when it's a high-scoring game, when there's chances of the chances.
The whole time I said,
when there's a threat, guys, there is a point where you look at a game, and for me, okay, maybe I think we should define what boring is.
Yeah.
Maybe I think that's where we should start.
Yeah.
For me, what is boring is when a team doesn't have a style of play, when a team doesn't know what it's doing. For me, that defines boring, you know? When a team has a style of playing, know what they're doing, and they're sticking to a plan, it can never be boring to me. If I can see the plan, you know? So, I think that's where we differ with you. Because for me,
it's boring for me when it's half of a plan. When I watch two teams playing half of a plan. So Amazulu was playing great defensively, but it's half of a plan. And when you watch half of a plan, you know that they're going to carry on getting hit. Then Sundowns is going to score one, then Sundowns is going to score two. Then they're going to try wake up and try revive the other side of the plan. So that's why I'm like, defensive doesn't mean boring for me. Leicester was a defensive team, but they won the league through knowing the other part of the plan. You could not rest and say, we're going to play 0-0. If the plan was to go 0-0 today and just defend it out, you're falling into the same line as many other teams that have come to face Sundowns, and you've lost 3-0.
I think my problem is in the first half, Amazulu was more threatening than Sundowns on the break.
How? They didn't threaten.
They threatened. The only threat that we had was a long-range shot by Usiregino. That was the only threat that we had. But
you
with
had
them,
more of the... Okay, no. Go carry on, sorry.
We had more of the ball. Sundowns will always have that, but that doesn't mean you're doing anything with it, you know? It's like, hey, she's a family show. Let me not give the example that I wanted to give. But with Amazulu, what they did was, when they were attacking, hence I'm like, was it half a plan? Because for me, I could see the plan. The plan was we sit back, we soak the pressure, and we hit them on a counter on the wings. You know? Hence, I could see those dangerous crosses which were between the defense and the goalkeeper. They were threatening. They just needed someone to get inside it and just put it inside the net. Hence, I said they were threatening. Yeah.
I didn't see the threat, but it's fine. I saw more of a threat second half. Second half, they were pressing you guys high. They won the ball up high. They were getting the ball into your ball. They were taking shots. They were saves. Like, they actually, what you were saying they were doing in the first half, they actually did better in the second half.
I feel like
it just so happened that it was after 2-0. That's when they're like, Hashem.
I feel like for you, you've defined your entertaining as a team, a game against Sundowns, not necessarily pound for pound, but are taking it, like being on our faces, taking shots, you know, like, for me, I feel like if a team can sit back and hit us on that one sucker punch, that's a good plan for me.
But Agent, which team has done that up to this point in the season?
Which team has
done that?
it also brings the question which team has won, because Chiefs attacked us, they lost. Pirates attacked us, they lost. So either way, you lose.
Chiefs didn't really attack. Chiefs, we got lucky. The lucky goal you're speaking about.
Yeah. We got our lucky goal. We'll always get our lucky goal. We'll always get our lucky
That's
goal.
why I'm like, guys, we're seeing the same thing every week, and it's the same. The same thing happens every week. Like
It's like someone saying Sundowns is weak. Yes, Sundowns is weak because they don't score 6-5 every now and then, but either way we win. But anyways,
no, I hear you. I hear
just
you.
on the last time, I just wanted to say congrats to the girls. I saw they won. It's 4-0, comfortable. I think we move on. I don't know which team we're facing next, because I think this is the preliminary. Maybe Australia can clarify that, because I think there is another game after this.
Yeah.
So hopefully we do well. Yeah.
No grief for nobody, agent. No grief for anybody. We're gonna face Nigeria more than likely.
Oof. Yeah. What is that girl's name? The tall one with the pink hair. The one that won the player of the Asholas. Oof. That is a must watch. And I think it goes back again to marketing. We need to do a lot of marketing on Banyana games. We desperately need to. And I know Sundowns you are 57, but you can't schedule it on the same time as a PSL side.
Yeah.
This game was gonna be a bit entertaining if you have played it maybe 5, or maybe after the Sundowns game, so that you can have more viewership. So I think there's some things that SAFA has to take into account. And on the other side, either we will win by hook or by crook. Hey, even by crook we'll win, doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm happy that we have won. Cheers, man. Have a good night.
Thank you, Agent Clara. Closing statements for tonight.
I think they were okay tonight. Abdikuto was saying that they were already sitting on a 3-0. Why would they exert themselves? But it's one of those matches where you're like, you would have expected to see more new combinations, so that Tembi's not carrying, or Hilda or Jermaine is not carrying the team every time, because at some point that trick becomes predictable. So I think for tonight the expectation was, we are not really threatened, we are at home, we have a comfortable lead, let's experiment and see, obviously with caution. That's why I was asking Hore, how is everyone feeling about the defense? Because it's a fairly new and young crew, I think, the youngest being 17 years old, which I think she held her own. She played well, Asanda.
There were moments, though.
Yeah, there were moments. That's why I was just like, at some point, you are happy that they are being tested and that they'll mature. Because it cannot be that every time your juice, your mato are not there, we are falling apart. So I think they did well today, but I still stand on this. When Banyana is playing as a unit, they are very dangerous, as opposed to when they're playing as individuals that are stars. Anyway, we still love our stars. We appreciate them, lest they get into trouble. But yeah, tonight was not as entertaining, but the results we have, which we should be happy with that. I think that's enough.
Okay, no, that's Clara. Thank you so much. Hey guys, I'm gonna close it just now. Velile, takababa. Boneni kula magame.
Umuntu makabheka ngayibonanga ifirst half ye-Sundowns namaZulu. Bayathi ubukela i-second half nje athole ngendlela beniphikisana ngayo bakazothi nisangene la emakhanda kahle kahle. Ngani? Isho i-first half. Mayiko thina abayasho sayithulela i-first half ngoba sesiyabukela sithi sizofuna ukungena saze bokhubo basixosha labantu siyobukela umuvango. Ngoba hey, maka labantu laba kulamalaya mangathi nje ubeka umbono yana bakhule hey bazok-attack ngathi ama-supporter kangizwe emchunu hayi bazokuthuka mani so nje hayi but so far no, but so far the game was beautiful. Mina vele I didn't expect anything from Amazulu. because it seems like Chimp, he went back to his system. Aqale ngayo makafika la, or in terms of like defending for no reason, thing. That's why if you look at their last game, I don't know, good best expect anything different because that team just lost to Cape Town Space with 3 goal conceding. So yeah, I didn't expect anything from them, and it shows strengths Sundowns, and also whether we like it or not, man. But for the Sundowns, it's a well coached team. It shows. Sometimes if Kono Mundo is umsebenzi wakhe, you can see with the result on the field. As much as sometimes you cannot see the result in terms of goal, but in terms of what they're doing on the field, you could see it. Okay, this is what they were trying to do, of which we see it mostly kakhulu kuma games of Sundowns. But amanye ama-team nje wona ayi cha sasekude laba force bayithatha ileague azivume nje thina baye ukuthi thina sesizozama apha kulezi sidume ngazo kuma-short courses ama-N1 N2 yabona musilezo ngapha emakhapini nina abanye nje
sasikusama school man, sasikusama school.
hayi no nina abanye senzulala ngoxolo nje kodwa nje ibhola belilihle siyabonga, but I still think ukuthi Amazulu also they've missed angimbonanga kodwa yakhona ucela impilo angimbonanga because I think in most cases makamabadlala he's the guy who makes things happen kakhulukazi in terms of linking it defense, and I think he's a box to box players and he helped Amazulu but with the introduction with Ben Mutswari, we know Ben Mutswari even from Go Pirates. He's not that player who can venture forward now and then. Surely, my Mofage nice defensive 6. You must know, Guti, you'll have a problem because now it's like whether you are going to play a low block football. So yes, it gives a fella from Go Pirates. He's like that. So you know, Guti, you'll be under attack and playing a team against Sundowns. I don't know. You've raised the point of saying like. What's are we failing our strikers, like our South African strikers, in terms of like football, like I think modern football because it seems to come with more things about explain cool. It can be an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time because if you look at most of the PSL team, they play a defensive style, and also if you're gonna require your strikers, because most of the team, our strikers are not on the box. We normally try to turn them in. Also, they must start defending also from up front, and then whereby we need more energy from them in terms of going forward. Abasenayo, because they've wasted more energy by trying to come back and help maybe your wings if your wings are going forward or you don't need defense. So which is not fair to them in terms of like where they will need more energy in terms of moving forward. It becomes as a disadvantage to them. I'm talking about the strikers that will need, not the Mahopa who just maze naturally, but they say they're strikers. I still don't know what's his role. I got it. So do you see the difference? We can do with one chance, he just used it. So I'm just talking about national strikers. We must get this thing of modern football. We are saying no, they must also defend, try and assist. No, because we are limiting them in terms of like giving us more attacking option. That's why we tend to be limited. Now we don't see that fluent ball whereby the game can have some more attacks. Because our upfront players are tired because we are just overloading them with too much work, of which there's some of the work has to be done by the defenders because that's their primary responsibilities. But a good game for Sundowns. They are running away with the league, so yeah. Angiboni khona vimba.
Hayi mtakaba bayi mina sazobona la low block. Bonke abazodlala low block be Sundowns badliwe, but it's fine. Let me bring it Lebogang. Can you close out the show for me, my brother? What are your thoughts about the 2 games you saw here?
I want to close it on 2 fronts. One with the issue of Banyana versus Nigeria. We may have a lot of problems as a country, but beating Nigeria on the women's side is not one of those problems. Like the last 3 games, who won them? Who won the last 3 games between us?
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want to address the other issue of entertainment to Agent 007, the James Bond of South Africa. I want to give an analogy. I hope it'll make sense, because your question was, what do we mean entertained? I wanna give an analogy that's away from football. let's say you have a girlfriend. This girlfriend, you making love to her, but your main objective for her now is to end. You are not enjoying it, but you are finishing. You know what? I'm not enjoying this, but I'm finishing. You're getting to the destination, but you're not enjoying it. Do you not know that you're not enjoying it? And then you've got a Makwapeni who entertains you in ways, and you see heaven. You're like, hey, hey, hey. You know, that's what I'm talking about. The entertainment. You feel it in your heart. You feel thrilled, overcome with joy, watching the ball. Even if it ends at 0-0, you don't even finish. You're still enjoying yourself. You know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to clarify that part. And yeah, that's it. So I'm
guys.
closing my statement.
No, thanks, Lebogang. Hi guys, that's the football. Now we have these examples, and then also gynecologists are coaching team. Oh guys, where's the football going? But anyway, guys, no, jokes. Look, all I'm gonna say, and maybe it'll be the topic for tomorrow. We'll speak about what exactly do we mean. What is entertaining football to South Africans, to the world, to coaches, to whoever. We'll speak about that. So I think okay. Mamelodi Sundowns, Amazulu played out almost exactly as the last game did. Amazulu defended for a very long time until Rulani pushed to Kuchimpi. But at that time it was 2-0 if I'm not mistaken, 1-0 if I'm not mistaken. 1-0. And they only woke up in the second half to try play. That's where the chance that they had, that was the penalty offside goal, the offside goal came into question. So for me, it's exactly how it's been playing out for Sundowns for most of these teams. Sundowns just buy this time, you give them confidence, they score their goal, however they get it. Then by the time you wake up and try to do something, nothing's going to happen. In terms of Banyana, this is what it was. They were 3-0 up. So we weren't expecting them to go burn down the barn doors and do all of these crazy things because they already had the lead. In fact, Coach Desiree changed a lot of players in the team, as Clara clarified that there was a 17-year-old who made their debut there in the defense. So they did what needed to be done. Banyana go through to the next round. Next round, we're going to be facing Nigeria. Nigeria beat Cameroon 1-0 over 2 legs. So it's going to be our big rival. They're number 1, we're number 2. And then that is not the leg that qualifies us. The winner from that goes through to the Olympics. There's still a final where we play the winner of the other game, but the winners that get there qualify. Okay, guys. Luyanda, we had a long show yesterday, man. Speaking about Chiefs, we're crying, man, now. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you have not followed, please follow. The show is going to be moving to 7 p.m. Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. And then Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon. We still have our watch-alongs over the weekend of the Big 3 Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns. But also when Banyana plays, when Bafana play, we'll also jump into that. And also other games, more Champions League, Banyana style, things like that. We watch them here because we really do love football. If you want to continue the conversations that we've been having here, we do have a WhatsApp group. Go over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join, and then for just 20 rand a month, you'll be able to join our WhatsApp group where our agent, we have a lot of conversations there, in depth and full. We held a lot of conversations there, full out. So let's see how that's going to pan out, guys. I'll see you then tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Bye, guys.
Magazine safa indlala